Welcome back. This is lesson 6.3, Iron Man 4, Captain America, The Avengers. I had to break out my Marvel t-shirt. The crew who helped produce all of this, or actually produce it all, and I just sit here and talk, they've been teasing me and saying, oh, wear your Superman shirt, wear your Marvel shirt. So for the crew, I decided I better wear it. Thank you, crew. Okay, in this lesson, I'll discuss the place of these movies in reshaping and positioning Marvel as a blockbuster feature film studio. By the end of this lesson, you should have a good understanding of what separates these four franchises from the other Marvel movies and how that helps market Marvel movies more broadly. Okay, Iron Man. Like other Marvel characters, Iron Man was optioned by numerous studios that wanted to develop an Iron Man film. This started happening in 1990, and eventually the rights were returned to Marvel in the mid-2000s. Iron Man then was the first film that Marvel developed in-house in the new Marvel Film Studios. The first film was a modern variation of the comic book origins of Iron Man, with Afghanistan replacing Vietnam. Iron Man kicked off what has become known as the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is to say, the characters not controlled by other studios. In many ways, this might as well be called the Avengers suite, since all the movies but one produced by Marvel from 2008's Iron Man to 2015 Avengers: The Age of Ultron revolve around the cast of characters who make up the Avengers. The 2008 Iron Man film and the Iron Man character were an important conduit for foreshadowing the forthcoming Avengers. For instance, at the end of the first film, during the credits, Nick Fury, the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., appears to discuss the Avengers initiative. In 2008, in the Hulk movie, a character incidentally abandoned as a franchise, Iron Man turns up again to discuss the Avengers. Likewise, Thor was introduced at the end of Iron Man 2. This is a key point. Marvel Studios use their movies to cross-promote and build excitement for a forthcoming film in a deliberate and integrated fashion. Thor 2 has been part of various production deals that came to nothing before being developed by Marvel itself. The first film had a different take on the character than his comic book origins, but the essential features remain the same. Like Iron Man, Thor was used to introduce characters, with the Collector from the Guardians of the Galaxy appearing at the end of Thor 2. Captain America. Captain America, the First Avenger, the 2011 movie, hewed to the basic outline of the original Captain America, placing him in World War II. And just as Marvel had brought the character back in the 1960s by having him found in a hibernated state in a block of ice, so too did this film move him from the 40s to the 60s through that device. The title itself of the film said something about its purpose in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the First Avenger. Its job was to put the final piece in place for the Avengers movie. Released in 2012, the film The Avengers was part of Marvel's plan to develop its own studio, for which it had received a large loan from Merrill Lynch so that it could develop its own films. The Avengers formed the linchpin of Marvel's film plans, and it succeeded in very important ways in driving up revenue across the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Key point. The Marvel plan of linking their films together as a Marvel Cinematic Universe paid off where it counted, at the box office. Let's look at some figures. These are the receipts for Marvel films before the Avengers film came out. In 2008, the Iron Man film made over $582 million. In 2008, The Incredible Hulk, $263 million. 2010, Iron Man 2, $623 million. 2011, Thor, $449 million. And 2011, Captain America: The First Avengers, $370 million. And these are the receipts for Marvel films after the Avengers film came out, starting with The Avengers. In 2012, The Avengers took $1,500 million. Iron Man 3 took $1,215 million. The 2013 Thor movie, The Dark World, took $633 million. Captain America: The Winter Soldier took $713 million. Guardians of the Galaxy, $771 million. And The Avengers: The Age of Ultron, that came out in 2015, took $1,388 million by July that year. All the sequels after The Avengers made more money than the films in the franchises beforehand. Indeed, Iron Man 3 made almost twice the money that Iron Man made. And when you think about $500 million for the first Iron Man movie, that's not chump change. The Avengers movie is the third highest earning movie ever, behind Titanic and Avatar. And it doesn't do so bad when you look at figures when they're adjusted for inflation. It comes in the top 30 movies ever. So here's a key point. So successful has Marvel been in this strategy that Sony has agreed to partially integrate Spider-Man into the Marvel-produced films because they clearly see a payoff for their own Spider-Man films. With this, we come back to the end of the lesson again. This lesson has 3 key points. Go back over your notes and the video of the lesson to make sure you have noted these points. Next up, Module 7, Authors and Fans.